Alright guys, how's it going? So, it's Friday again. This is number 2. If you watched last week, I appreciate it. Didn't get any harsh comments. I was expecting some, so that's kind of nice. Talked about weight loss a little bit and growing up and things that I thought made an impact in my life through weight loss and how to achieve it and work on it. So today I wanted to talk about a couple of things. One, CrossFit and what CrossFit has done for me and helped me with, and one of the biggest things I think it's helped me with. And then also freedom, because it's July 5th. We celebrated our Independence Day yesterday. It's awesome. We live in the greatest country in the world, and it is because we're free, and we're slowly losing that freedom. Sadly, we're giving it away voluntarily. We have become a culture that promotes safetyism, and we let safetyism take the place of freedom. We gladly trade it. We trade our individual rights, we trade our liberty, we trade our privacy. We trade all of these things every day in the name of safety. And a lot of times it's a false sense of safety. It's invented or made up. A lot of times it's sold to us as safety when in reality it's nothing more than a power grab. To get right into it, I'll use the example that I've been seeing the most. In Louisiana, we're having some changes to our car seat laws. Currently, the law is, rear facing until they're at least 1 year old or 20 pounds, and then front facing restrained seat until 4 years of age. So the new laws is going to be rear facing until the age of 2, I believe, and then front facing or booster seat until their knees can bend over the front of the seat and the seat belt hit their collarbone, not their neck. That's aggravating, but I don't have a big problem with that. The biggest problem I have with it is they also included into the new law that if the child is less than 13, they must ride in the back seat of a vehicle when a back seat is available. Easy enough for me. I'll be pulling the back seats out of my work truck. Just store tools back there, and I'll continue to let my girl ride in the front with me so I can hold her hand every now and again and have a conversation with her and actually be close to her. More importantly, I want her to be able to see out of the truck. I want her to be able to see what's coming at us. I want her to be able to see me drive. I don't know how most of you learned how to drive, but I learned to drive by watching other people drive. And personally, I think I'm pretty good at it. I think my driving record shows that I'm good at it. I don't understand the fear. I don't understand the reason. Why make a kid ride in the back seat until they're 13? And I know, it's safety. It's safer. It's safer for them to be in the back seat. That's where they should be. So looked it up. Here's the statistic in the state of Louisiana, or as best I could find. In the last 3 years, 110 kids between the ages of 2 and 14 have died in car accidents. Now that sounds sad. That's terrible. And it is sad. Shit, nobody wants to hear about kids dying. But notice I didn't say that 110 kids between the ages of 2 and 14 that were in the front of the car died in the last 3 years. Couldn't find that information. I didn't say that 110 children between the ages of 2 and 14 in the state of Louisiana died in car accidents because they weren't restrained. Fact is, most of them were restrained, and most of them were in the proper restraints. The fact is, some accidents that occur in a car are going to kill the people in the car. Personally, I'm well aware of that. I said last weekend I lost my mother when I was young. I was 3. I lost her to a car wreck. But having lost loved ones in car accidents doesn't make me fear the car. I'm fearful enough that I'm going to try to be a defensive driver. I'm fearful enough that I'm going to wear my seatbelt every time that I'm in it. Note that I am sitting still in my driveway right now, or I would have it on. You know, I just don't understand what we're trading or why we're trading it. Moreover, I don't understand what gives the state the right to dictate it. So, here's a rundown of my afternoon. I leave my job site somewhere between 3 and 3:30 every day. And I drive from North Baton Rouge to Watson to pick up Fallon, my 3-year-old, from daycare. It's like the highlight of my day. When I pick her up, is if she's been on the green plate, I give her a sucky. A sucker, a dum-dum. She loves them, always has, and that's, you know, her reward for being good that day. She looks forward to it. We leave the daycare, and she climbs up in the truck. She sits right beside me, in the appropriate car seat. You know, she's pretty much my only passenger in my work truck. The rest of the floorboard, if you can see, that's kind of the trash area over there, and then this is all tool area back here. Even got my EP Bro hat and a fanny pack hanging on the back seat there. But anyway, so things that we do. Yeah, when I pick her up, I set her in there, and we have a dum-dum. We share a dum-dum on the way to the gym. We talk about her day. I don't have to look in the rearview mirror to talk to her. So when I'm driving like this and I'm watching the road and trying to figure out what's going on, I don't have to be constantly doing this, looking at the rear view mirror, because I've got some odd other mirrors stationed throughout the vehicle so that I can see her in a car seat in the back seat. My rear view mirror can be used for what it needs to be used for, seeing what's going on behind me. We get to have a conversation. A lot of times she wants to hold my hand, and I love that. I can't think of a better feeling in this world right now than when my 3-year-old says, "Daddy, I love you. I want to hold your hand." And we hold hands all the way to the gym. Can't do that if she's in the back seat. So, let's go back to those numbers. 110 deaths. Let's say, just for shits and giggles, let's say that half of them were in the front of the vehicle, which I'm pretty sure is inaccurate. I think that's given the new laws a whole lot of leeway. So you got 50, right? 55 kids that died because they were in the front seat of a car in an accident. And that's a hell of a statement there too, because we don't know that. We can't say that they would have lived had they been in the back of the car. Anyway, so 50 kids over the last 3 years in the state of Louisiana. So if you run the numbers on how many children are riding in vehicles every day in the state of Louisiana, you take that number and, of course, you know, put it into a percentage. That is 0.0000001% chance that my daughter will die in a car wreck because she's riding in the front seat. And I've traded holding her hand for that. Well, I've not. The state legislature has decided that due to safety concerns, we need to promote a safety culture in Louisiana, I think's the way I heard it put. They've taken that away from me. I can't hold my daughter's hand anymore. I can't reach over, pat her on the shoulder, pat her on the head. That's safetyism. That's ridiculous. And that is the way we give up our freedoms every day. We're giving our freedoms away. There's no outside force coming to take them. Iran is not over here telling me that I have to put my daughter in the back seat of my truck. I'm giving that freedom away because of the people I elect. Now, the person that come up with this idea, do they want, you know, to promote safety? I'm sure. You know, I hope so. What actually happens? Well, let's see, the people that lobbied the most for this new law, the car seat manufacturers. Who would have thought that? Who stands the most to gain? from drastically increasing the age at which you can take a kid out of a car seat or a booster seat. Let's see, let's think about that. The car seat manufacturers. Wow. Isn't that interesting? Who else stands to benefit from that? And I know this one's going to step on some toes, and I apologize. All of these little small towns that like to set up DUI checkpoints. So, neat statistic about DUI checkpoints. They write very, very few DUIs. They write a whole bunch of secondary tickets. Brake lights, inspection stickers, seat belts, so on. Little things like that. Expired driver's license, no insurance. Little fines that people are happy to pay because it's not worth their time to go sit at the courthouse and argue it. There are also fines that they can't just pull you over and write the ticket for because they're secondary. You can't be pulled over for driving with an expired driver's license because there's no probable cause. But you can go through a seatbelt checkpoint and be written a ticket for driving with an expired driver's license. See where I'm going with this? No offense to the police officers, a ton of offense to your local officials that set up these things. If that's not an invasion of privacy and illegal search and seizure, I will never understand what is. So, now a kid under 13 has to be in the back seat of a car. They have to be in a booster seat until their legs can hang over the front of the seat and the seat belt doesn't hit them on the neck. That's really subjective. Guess who gets to make that call? The police officer. So, how easy is it going to be for them to say, well, that kid doesn't quite look 13. Can you prove their age? So, how many of you carry around the birth certificates or legal identification of your children in your car when you're riding around? I don't. I know how old Fallon is. I know how old Nora is. But I can't prove it. I don't have the documentation in the car to prove it. Do you carry a scale around with you? I don't. I probably should. Good Lord, as much as I'm tempted to eat, I think having a scale with me would actually help with that. I could step out and weigh myself and might find a little more motivation to stay on track. But no, I don't carry a scale around with me. So again, it falls on the officer's discretion as to what the child weighs, how old the child is, and if the child is in the correct seat. That's a whole lot of power to be trading, to be given away. No, I don't think police officers are bad, and no, I don't think police officers are going to take advantage of that. What I do think will happen is somewhere up the chain of command, someone will mention that we should be writing more seatbelt tickets in order to promote this general culture of safety, or we should be writing more car seat tickets in order to create a safer environment for our children. And then they will start writing the tickets. This is a tax. Don't try to think that it's 1 minute to improve safety for children. It's not. The numbers are not there. The statistics are not there. This is another source of revenue. The car seat manufacturers are going to get a nice bump from it. Mainly because you have to provide booster seats now, I think, for a much longer time. And the state and local government is going to get quite a bump from it because we can be fined now, right, for it. I just don't get it. I don't understand why we're so willing to trade our freedom. And of course, I know I'm probably the only person that has this opinion of it. I've seen so many posts, oh, I'm so glad we're doing this. We should have done this a long time ago. We should have done the manufacturer's recommendation a long time ago. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Well, no, it's not always better to be safe than sorry. Safety is sitting on the couch every day. Safety is excluding yourself from life. Safety is being scared of everything and never walking out your front door. You have to live in a balance. You have to know what you're trading that safety for. So yeah, it might be safer for your kid to ride in the back seat until he's 13. But is it safer for that same kid that's never rode in the front seat of a car to get behind the wheel at 16 and start driving, having never experienced what to watch out for in the front of the car, what to look for in the front window, what you're doing with your hands and your feet while you're driving? So think about it, think about how you learned to drive. Think about some of your fondest memories riding in a car with your family. Think about a road trip with your dad or your mom, just you and her or you and him to the store. Maybe a Sunday morning run to a donut shop where you sat beside your dad. That's gone. That's illegal. Think about that. That is illegal. They've made it against the law. To me, that's sad. To me, that's un-American. To me, that is trading liberty and freedom for the idea of safety. Anyway, that's my spiel. I had a great 4th. Really did. We went and got an excellent workout in at Sling and Iron with some of the best people I know. There must have been 50 people there. Teams of 4. We did 776 total reps. It was great. We all sweated. The Kings provided watermelon for everyone after the workout. It was so good. Sorry. Throat gets dry. Enough can't be said about fellowship and hanging out with friends and sweating with friends and building relationships. And CrossFit has really helped me to do that. And that's the other thing I kind of wanted to hit on today. I've always been a real shy person. I said last week I'm kind of secretive. I don't open up much. And that comes from a youth that was hard, trouble, being overweight, having a very abusive stepmother. My grandfather that raised me the most was not abusive to me per se, but he was very abusive to those around me and to my grandmother. So I learned to not speak up. I learned to be very quiet, not get seen. Kind of led to me having some anxiety and shyness in social settings. One of the hardest things that I had to deal with when I took on a job as project manager. I was always a QC manager or safety manager. I wasn't really directing men or directing work crews. When I got promoted to project manager, of course, one of the deals is you have daily safety meetings, daily toolbox meetings, daily work meetings, weekly safety meetings, progress meetings. And I was expected to speak in all of these meetings and to not only speak in them, but be the leader, to stand up and lead. That scared me to no end. It scared me for a long time, and I never was very good at it. So I found CrossFit in 2012, and CrossFit was a whole lot different then. But it gave me a lot of confidence. And the confidence came from, all right, the story of my first workout. I walked into the box and Murph was wrote on the wall. And if you don't know what Murph is, it's a 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, finished with a 1 mile run. The coach at the time, her name was Stacy. One of the happiest people I've ever met, always smiling, so sweet. Really liked Stacy. But I walked in, I looked at the board, and I literally turned around and walked out. She caught up with me in the parking lot and said, "Oh no, come on, you can do this. We'll scale it down, we'll break it down, we'll figure out how to make it work." So I went back in, and sure enough, I started chipping away at it. I was running with a running club then in Slidell, Happy Hour Runners, shout out, Julio and Artie. So the 1 mile run wasn't any problem. Attacking the pull-ups, a totally different story. So I did 100 pull-ups, mostly with a green band, and then sometimes 2 green bands. So a green band takes off like 60 pounds of body weight. You hook it to your foot and to the bar, so whenever you're hanging, it's stretched out. It'll help pick you up. But I got through them. I think I did 100 push-ups on my knees in a decent fashion, and then the next 100 were just push up once, collapse on the ground, lay there for a minute. Push up once, collapse on the ground, lay there for a minute. The air squats I got through, wasn't that bad. It was definitely sore, but like I said, my legs were pretty in shape, just my upper body was crap. Hit that last run, and the first half of that last run was miserable, but was able to pick up speed, you know, on the second half, and actually finished out pretty strong. My worst Murph time ever, it was somewhere around an hour and 35 minutes. Did it by myself. Well, Stacy was there. But I knew then, you know, I'm in love with this. This is the best thing I've ever found in my life. This is the best drug I've ever found in my life. And it was CrossFit. Because it takes something you know, without a doubt, you cannot do, and proves to you that you can. Now, as I got more into it, it helped me with public speaking. It helped me with being able to go into a room full of guys and say, look, this is what it's going to take to get this job done. This is the way we need to move. This is the way to go forward. Instead of just beating around the bush about it and asking and being polite and being scared, you know, that someone would have a rebuttal. It helped me with a lot of confidence to, you know, go over to a crew doing work the wrong way and get them to do it the right way. I don't want to say demand, because that doesn't sound right. But if you know something's right and someone's doing it wrong, it's very hard to walk up to them and say, hey, look, we are not doing this way. We're going to go do it the right way. CrossFit really helped me with that. And I think it all stems from building the confidence up to do things you knew you could never do. That's, you know, my own story. It helped me with that. And, you know, as I got more into CrossFit, I wanted to share that with people, and that's what led me to becoming a coach. When I finally worked up, you know, enough courage to be able to walk up to somebody and say, hey, I might know a better way to do this movement, let me show you. Or walk up to a new person and say, look, don't be scared of wall balls. Walk over here with me. Let's work through it. We'll figure it out. I discovered I really, really liked helping people. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love to show them CrossFit and show them what it is. So the changes that are happening, that little box that I talk about is CrossFit Crusade in Slidell, Louisiana. It's there now, but they use the building for something else. It was attached to Crossgate's Fitness in Slidell, a big Globo gym. It might have been a 10 by 20, maybe a 10 by 30 building. Rubber mats. The walls were gray and completely covered with graffiti. Grimy, dirty, 3 ropes hanging in the center. Pull-up rig was just a bunch of 1-inch galvanized pipe welded together. And just the most beautiful thing in the world. Loved every minute of it. Just the writing on the wall, the little inspirational quotes wrote everywhere, the dirt. You know, you do a burpee and lay down on the ground long enough, stand up, your legs are black, old rusty barbells that didn't spin real well, bumper plates, kettlebells, paint flaking off of them. Loved it. You know, we were so crowded that we couldn't all work out in there. You know, 2 people could probably work out inside the building. So they set up a big tent on a concrete lot beside the building. And the concrete lot was sloped. I remember trying to teach myself to clean and jerk. And I would load the bar up, and then I had a 2x4. And I'd have to put the 2x4 behind the bar to keep the bar from rolling away from me while I set up on it, because I was lifting on a slope. But it worked, you know. You learn to do things in those conditions, and there's the confidence. You know, you walk into a nice clean place, you can do anything. But as CrossFit's grown, you know, as it advances and tries to become more inclusionary, it's getting cleaner. And that's not a bad thing. I'm sure the instances of staph infections have greatly reduced. But it is getting cleaner. The graffiti's not on the wall anymore. you know, gym owners are really taking care to clean the matting, to clean the floors, to clean the equipment, to promote a culture in the box, to clean the equipment, to take care of it and respect it. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Do I miss the graffiti? Yes, very much. I miss the grime of it. I love to get dirty. It's one of my favorite things. But we're doing a better job of including everyone, and we're taking away the initial stigmatism of CrossFit, and that's walking in the door. People are super scared to walk in the front door. You know, a lot of people are intimidated by it. So, you know, the other thing that I've really seen CrossFit do more than anything else in my life is empower women. And I am not a feminist. Well, I shouldn't say that. I am not a modern day feminist by any means. I am a feminist, and I truly believe that we should all have equal rights. I believe in equal pay for equal work. I believe that a woman is capable of everything a man is, and is held better at doing a lot of things. So, what makes me not a radical feminist is, no, there's no such thing as a wage gap. If you actually boil down hours worked per career choice, we're pretty much even. Wage gap goes away. Gets into the whole numbers never lie, but liars work with numbers game. You know, I think that's supposed to be figures. Figures never lie, but liars figure. So yeah, I'm definitely a feminist, but not a radical feminist. But anyway, CrossFit and the advancement of, I don't even know how to word it. I understand how scared or uncomfortable it must have been in a Globo gym 10 years ago or even today for a woman to wear some tight clothes and be working out and have all these testosterone-fueled bodybuilders come up and try to give them advice. Hell, I wouldn't want that. But CrossFit, I've seen CrossFit take quiet, insecure soccer moms and turn them into drill sergeants. I've seen it take women that were scared of their own shadow and give them the confidence and the strength to go out and do whatever they wanted to do. And it's an amazing thing. It's given a lot of women, or I've seen it give a lot of women comfort in their own skin, because they're not the gym Barbie or the yoga goddess body type. They're power lifters, or strength builders, or Olympic lifters, or happy being a little bit overweight and just want to move well. CrossFit gives all these people a home, and it's beautiful. One thing that I do that is one of my absolute favorite things to do is work with new people. I take on a whole lot of the new clients that come into the gym where I coach at now and work out at now and train at. And I was thinking about it. I had one a couple nights ago, and I was talking with her about it. And she said, you know, it's like I was really scared to come in because I thought you had to be in really good shape to even do CrossFit. And that's just not true. We all scale levels. You know, we range the grommet. Anybody can walk in and do it. But she got through her first workout, did a great job of it, and I'm sure she'll be back. I was thinking again, you know, it made me think about a woman the other day I was talking to that she's a heavier woman. It said she pulled up in the parking lot and was kind of nervous about going in, and then she saw another lady running down the track in some compression shorts and a sports bra. And woman, you know, the woman running is also a heavier individual, and said she knew right then, sitting in the parking lot, that she'd found her home. This was going to be her CrossFit home because it's so accepting. And it is. So why am I rambling about this? Anyway, we are moving toward, you know, inclusion. And it kind of goes with the car seat thing because, you know, it's a safety thing, whatever. But there's a bunch of articles floating around yesterday and today about a well-known CrossFit gym. I don't know if the gym is well known, but the owner is extremely well known. And they've issued a dress code. So men can't work out topless anymore, and women can't wear booty shorts while they work out. Which is amazing to me. To me, that goes against what CrossFit is, as much as making it to where a 13-year-old can't ride in the front seat of a truck is an American. With CrossFit, we're the outsiders. We're the ones that don't fit in at Planet Fitness. We're the ones that aren't happy with the spin classes and the yoga and Pilates. We like to work. We like to sweat. We move heavy weight around. We go outside. We run. We take our shirts off and do it in shorts. A lot of women do it in booty shorts and sports bras. It's grimy and it's hot work, and it's the most rewarding fitness regimen there is, period. And I don't understand putting a dress code to it. The Morning Chalk Up and Daily Mail both have articles out there, and y'all can look them up. But to me, empowering a woman is telling her, you can come work out, you can wear whatever you want to wear. It doesn't matter what size, shape, or age you are. You walk through that door, this is your place, this is your hour. I want it to be the best hour of your day. So you wear whatever you want to wear. Nobody's going to say a thing to you about it. Nobody's going to be offended. Hopefully nobody's going to hit on you. And you can do your work in peace the way you want to. That's empowering. Telling a woman, no, you can't wear booty shorts because some of our other members might see your butt while you do a deadlift, that's ridiculous. That's back in the Middle Age days, sadly 200 years ago, of accusing women of being raped because of what they wore. It's ridiculous to me. Now, I'm not talking about having wardrobe malfunctions and being vulgar. But if the men in your gym are offended by or can't take their eyes off of a woman wearing booty shorts and a sports bra, you need to have a talk with the men in your gym, not the women. If the women in your gym are offended by another woman in booty shorts and a sports bra, maybe you should have a talk with the other women and find out why. Are we promoting a culture of body shaming? Is it body shaming? And as far as the men goes, I sweat a lot. Lately I've been a little heavy, so I've been leaving my shirt on because I'm ashamed of my jiggle whenever I do certain movements. But I like to work out without a shirt on. It's comfortable for me, and it's one of the reasons I like CrossFit so much. Anyway, that's my spiel. That's my Friday podcast today. Again, happy 4th of July. It was yesterday. We live in the greatest country in the world, and hopefully it always will be. And keep smiling, keep your head up, hit it like you live.